Over there!
We can't let him get away!
Too late, fool! You will not escape! Us? What in the name of... Gary?
I'm sorry, okay? I hadn't prepped this part of the dungeon yet. I haven't had the time.
But you don't suffer from this, do you? For more than 2 years, you've helped us to enhance our tools, grow our map libraries, and given us a warm welcome in the community of map makers and game masters. We are honored to be part of this community, and all we can say is thank you.
Bring it on.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our weekly DGNFOG community stream. My name is Till and I am the founder or one of the founders of DGNFOG. And today we're going to talk about the second part of our version 5.5 update, which has been released today, which is patch number 5.5.1. As always, if you have any questions, if you want to ask something, just type question in front of your question so that I can see it in chat. And yeah, apart from that, let's see what we have introduced in our new update to the battlemap editor. Hello everyone, thank you very much for the intro. That was part of our community thank you gift that we handed out last year. It was a little just sign of appreciation from us to you because you are so amazing. You made all of this happen and we wanted to show how grateful we are for that. So we've created an asset pack around this little intro, this little clip, and we've created a little adventure that you can find on our DGNFOG website. It's free to download. You can also find it on Drive-Thru RPG, and because it was created together with Guy Sklenders from How to Be a Great GM, you can also find it on greatgamemaster.com at his place where you can download the PDF as well. All right, so what has happened in the last week, what has happened in the last weeks, to say, is we have been working on improvements for DGNFOG, we've been working on new tools, and we have now almost finished everything that we have planned for Q1. And we wanted to bring, in between the tools updates, we also wanted to bring convenience updates and feature updates. So let's have a quick look at what the current patch is bringing to you. There are some changes, there are some new things, there's a lot of convenience stuff in there. So let's see. Wait, I need to click a button. There you go. I'm not sure if you can read it. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I'm not going to read all the lines to you. You can find that on dungeonfog.com in the news section. There you will see our patch notes and you can read them in all the details. Very briefly summarized for you, there are a few core changes to the way that the editor is accepting your input, and we will look at that in details in a minute. And that is, previously we had some entry fields that were just while you were entering the numbers, they were adjusting, and others didn't. So we tried to find a way to unify that, and in the end we decided that it is the easiest to have the same rule applied to all fields, which means that now if you change the value in a text field and you want to confirm that value, you have to press enter, and then the change will be applied to the tools on stage, the assets, the objects on stage. Another thing is that when you have been manually changing values in a text field, you were kind of stuck in the text field unless you switched the tool. So now we've implemented a kind of a command chain for escape, that when you're pressing escape key, you will automatically exit the text field, if you have been in the text field, and then we will start to execute a chain of commands to bring you back to the stage. So whenever you press escape, it will kind of cycle back to the next parent group. We will look at that in a minute as well. There is, before I go into the escape, sorry, I've missed that one. If you want to exit a field, so you've changed the value, but you don't want to accept that value, the escape will also abort that and will revert the value back to its original value that was previously in there. So long story short, pressing enter means confirming values, pressing escape means aborting values, and also escape allows you to cycle through all the objects in a backwards manner when you are in the selection tool. Very convenient for me, I love it, and I was looking forward to the day that it gets implemented. Pressing R, that previously was just working for rooms, is now working for everything on stage. So when you select something and you want to rotate it by a specific value, just press R and you can rotate it by a given value that you enter, and press enter. And then there is, we've added rotation to tokens in the asset manager, and you can now set the lighting settings for props and tokens before you place the object on the map, which is also very convenient because this allows you to preset the lighting settings, so you don't have to place it, select it, set the lighting, and then change everything. You can just do it on the fly. And then we will not tackle those in very much detail. There are some general changes for the map decorations that we've just released last week, which means that map decorations are no longer displayed in the GM nodes. So when you have a room preview in the GM nodes, map decorations are not part of the room preview. They are still part of the level preview. Because we figured that you as a GM would like to see the level in all its beauty, but when it comes to the single room previews, you would like to see the room instead of labels that might be overlapping that room. And then we have several bug fixes that you have reported to us, so there were a few bugs. And we have also fixed, where is it? I think it was that one. That was a known issue from last week, which is that custom name tokens in the asset manager were not supporting label features. They now do, so that known issue is closed. And we currently have one more known issue, that is when you're hiding a room with a door in an adjoint room, the door might still leave a cutout. We know that this is a problem and we will be addressing it. Well, okay, so it's very boring to stare at a wall of text. So instead, let's look at the maps instead and how this works on a map level. So let me go to my maps. Nope, I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go to my dashboard. And this is the map that we have previously in last week used as a showcase for the new map decoration objects. And let me see, yes, we are now in the decoration level. So if I go to the map level itself, we can get rid of that because that is already in the decoration. Yes, so first thing, if I select, for example, if I select the room, you should have known that before. Pressing R will bring up this little rotation field. So if I would do 45 degrees in here, it would be rotated by 45 degrees. That is very convenient and very nice to do, but it would have been much, much more fun if I could have done that for everything, which we now can do. So if I select the asset here, and I press R, I can do the same thing, I say 45 degrees, and it is rotated by 45 degrees. Rotate minus 45 back to its original position. So that is, I think that, at least for me, this is going to be very helpful, because I often try to align things in a straight angle where I know by how many degrees I want to rotate object, and I don't want to use the mouse for rotating, because as you know, you could do shift and mouse wheel to rotate objects as well, but instead of doing that, I can now also press R and do 45 degrees here, or now it is rotated by 135 degrees, so this seems to add up. 0 degrees, yes, exactly. So this would be 90 degrees, 135, or back to 90. So as you can see, all those values add up and adjust accordingly. There's this black thing sticking in my... What are you saying? In my camera. You see a black... Oh, you mean the doggo. That one. That's Finn. That's Finn the dungeon dog, and he is sound asleep. And very smelly today. No, near the top, you say. Near the top, I don't know what you mean. Oh, this one, here, there. Oh, it's my microphone. Apologies. So, yeah, I think it was the microphone. Well, you can call me Jake if you like. So, that was that. Right. So the next thing is, now that I have selected the asset in here, and we've made a lot of changes to the way that we are prioritizing assets on the selection, which means that if I click on something in here, it will always prioritize the assets that are sharing the same room with the current selection. So if I would be, whatever I do, I can go through all the things in here, and it will always try to prioritize the things that are currently in the room that I have selected something in there. If I want to switch, for example, to this statue, it would mean that the first click would select the room and the second would then cycle through everything. If I have overlapping assets, I need to press the Alt key and click to select then something that is hidden beneath another asset, because that's the only way to select something that is beneath another asset. Yes, it's adventure time, and I hope we can rescue the princess. This is the selection part, but now that I have here, for example, if I can show you, I am in a content group, which I didn't name, my apologies. So if I go into the content here, you will see that there is an unnamed group, which we call statue. And if I go inside the statue, then we will see we have the statue and the dwarven, the shape that I've been using for this. So here's another thing which I also like a lot. We've been looking at that last week, but I just want to emphasize for those of you who've missed the last stream, we now have those little icons that are showing you what type of object you've placed in there. I love it. I find this is very helpful, because now I can see, oh, there's a shape in there, there's a prop in there, and I can just click on the little icon and I will directly select it when I have my Layers tab active. But now that I have selected the statue, pressing Escape will bring me back to, as you can see, will bring me back to the group. Pressing Escape once more will bring me back to the room, and pressing Escape once more will bring me back to the stage. Super nice. I don't know how often I had the problem that I had a map that is so full with brushes and props that it was almost impossible to select the stage. Now pressing Escape is a very nice way to just get back to the stage level and adjust things there. I need to look at my patch notes. What else did we do? Sorry. Patch notes. There you go. So we've been talking about the field thing with the enter. Well, that's not very exciting, but if I select something and I, for example, rotate this by 45 degrees, as you can see, as long as I enter the value, nothing happens. If I press escape, it will revert back to what I did before, so its changes are not applied. And if I say 45 degrees and enter, which also works on the numpad if you have a numpad, then it will automatically rotate. And that works basically for everything apart from there are a few fields where this doesn't make sense. So for example, the search field does not need an enter as a confirmation. The text field that we're seeing here does not need an enter for confirmation. And I believe there was a third one, and that was the resize map tool. Because resizing doesn't need an enter, you need to press apply to really apply that. Thank you, Lars. Hi, Frankie Liga. Nice to see you again. Right. Rotation. Yes, we've been talking about that. Rotation to tokens in the asset manager. Okay. Right, I remember last stream I told you that there is a cool new feature, but then I didn't show it to you. That has been requested quite often from you, and that is to revert campaign maps back to the normal maps. And just to expand there a little bit, what we do is when you run a campaign through DGNFOG, which you need to if you want to use our Fog of War and player GM's view mini VTT. When you create campaigns, what you do is you basically create a version of the original map. So this here, for example, would be my original map. The second I add this to a campaign, so if I would go in there into campaigns, and I would say that, let's just, do I have a test campaign? Yes, there we have one, add current map. There you go. The Dwarven Fortress has been added. Now what happens is, this map is not the original map. This is a copy. The idea behind that is because you can live edit in DGNFOG, your players might come to the conclusion that the fastest way into the throne room is not through the doors, but through the walls. And you could technically change the map on the fly while they are doing this. Fireball, and shatter, and whatever they can come up with. I don't know, maybe they, well, you know your players, they can come up with weird stuff. So what you really don't want is you don't want to spend hours on creating the perfect map, and then one of your party rushes through the map, and because you're on fire and you would like to show them how great they can work around the obstacles, you start to change the map. And at the end of your session, you realize, oh no, I've changed my original map there. That's why we are creating a campaign version of the map. Now this is kind of a blessing and a curse, because it means that if you add campaigns, if you add maps to your campaigns and you start reworking them, you might forget that you are still working on the campaign version of the map. That was my phone, apologies. I forgot to mute it. You might forget that you're currently working on the campaign version of the map, and at the end you realize, wait, my original map is just an empty map or just a few rooms, but the finished version is within the campaigns. So now you can do this, but you need to know where to look for this, because with in the editor, you're still in the instance of the editor itself. So through the campaigns here, it is a bit more complicated. So we said there is a better way for doing this. So if I exit, you will see that you have here, you have my campaigns, which is a super convenient and easy way to access your campaigns directly. So if you're about to begin your map session, your game session, and you're like, okay, where did we end last week? Oh, right, we've ended in, I don't know, the Star Walker map. And you just want to go directly into that map. You can find this here under the main menu, which is My Campaigns. And there you also find this new option that says Clone to My Maps. And that's what you're looking for. So if you have a campaign map and you're desperate because you've changed so many things on the campaign map, but the original map does not have those changes, you can now take the campaign map and clone it back to your maps to make sure that this version of the campaign map is now also available in your map section and not just in your campaigns. The other things that you can do here is apparently you can open the map, you can reload from the original. Be aware, this means that you are resetting all the changes on the map. So if you, for example, if you have one group that is running on this map and you want to have a second group and you just want to revert the map, that is basically this one. You can remove it from your campaigns, so it's not in the campaign list anymore. And now you can clone your maps as well. Right, we had that live since last week, but I completely forgot about it. So here you go. Here's the update on that. Is there anything else in regards to the changelog? Let me just quickly see. I don't think so. I think that's it. So what is currently happening? Now that we've finished this part, we've already started with it, but it still needs at least a week of work to finish the room templates. And I'm really excited for them. This is going to be a major game changer, I believe, because it means I can't show it to you yet because it's still in the works, but I can explain what it does. Let me go into my map again, the Dwarven Fortress. Frankie, no, the throne room, this was the asset pack from, if I remember correctly, January, February. It is included in the subscription because what we do is basically you could call us a little bit like, or we think we are a little bit like Netflix for map makers, which means that once you have a subscription, you gain access to all the assets that are included in our content subscription, and all our assets, all our monthly releases are included in the content subscription, which means that you can get those assets if you just buy an on-demand code or get a subscription, then you will have access to all those assets. The February asset pack, it was probably this was the February. I can't remember from scratch. So we had the community update in February, the community pack in January. We had the Dwarven pack and we had the map decorations, which were kind of an in-between pack. And there is one coming up by the end of this month, which I'm also very excited for. The cool thing is, for this year, we already have almost finished all our packs in terms of concept-wise. We know already which month is going to bring which pack. But talking about assets and map packs, there is an announcement that I will bring later. So we will park this conversation for a bit and we'll return there in a minute. That's fine. That's fine. I've derailed my thoughts. That's perfectly fine. By the way, now I have no idea what I was previously talking about. I was talking about apparently updates. Yeah. Huh. Changelog. Yeah, I know. I've been talking about the changelog. But I went back. So we were tackling the clone map. Oh, we're talking about the upcoming feature. Yes, Lars, thank you for the reminder. I've posted that I have already talked about the R that you can use for everything. Yes, I was. Oh my God. Probably I should stop drinking Coke so late in the evening. So, we were talking about the room templates. And I wanted to explain what the room templates are because they are coming soon and they will be amazing. Currently, if you have oh no, undo, this is the wrong layer. I want to go into the Dwarven Fortress. If you have a room and you really like that room and you think this room is cool and you would like to reuse that room, or you want to copy rooms across maps, that is currently not possible. But with the upcoming update, you will be able to select a room and save it as a room template. This room template is saved to you as your user database, which means that it is globally available for you throughout all maps. So you can go in there and create a sprite sheet of rooms, for example, or room groups, for example, houses. And you don't have to redraw every room then. You just go into your templates, select the room, pick it, place it, and it will be there. It's the room, it's the brushes inside the rooms, the decoration inside the room, the assets, the lighting, whatever you do. You can create completely finalized rooms, make them be templates, and reuse them. So this is our first step into that direction, and it's going to be finished somewhere around next week, and then it's going internal testing, and then it will be released within March. Oh, we have a request for assets in here. Thank you, Petro. I will keep that thought. I will come back to you in a second. The thing is, having the room templates implemented will kick off a ton of new opportunities that we have. So for example, one thing that we want to do is make room templates shareable throughout the public library, so that you don't just create maps that you can share around, but you could create sets of rooms that you can share. Second, this is going to kick off and it's going to be a concept phase for quite some time, so don't get too excited for, oh my God, they're going to release this soon. No, I didn't say that. You said that. But having room templates is a great opportunity to start thinking about randomized dungeons, because having rooms and having specific room classifications like room tags will allow us to take those rooms and randomize them on a map given specific parameters that you set. You might all know the random dungeon generator from Dungeon. There you can basically pick how many rooms, how far apart are they, how are they connected, what room types you would like to see in there. And we're going to take this concept and try to improve it. And this is going to be something that we will be working on later this year and that we will put thoughts into, because I think having the opportunity to randomize maps based on room templates, and those doesn't have to be just your room templates. This could be all the room templates that are available on the public library, means that we as a community can really start to build a library full of room templates that are cleverly classified yeah, I think you say classified, like labeled, that will allow to create a vast amount of randomized dungeons just out of the things and the work that you are kind of bringing into this community. And I think this is an amazing idea. So room templates is just the first step into that direction. And once we have that, we will see how much you like the tools and you will give us feedback and we will improve. And once we have the feeling that we have ironed out the basic concept, we will then take this into advanced options, like, for example, publicly shareable room templates and the randomization of dungeons. Okay, so big eyes, small mouth guy here. Hi, Petro. I would love some anime-themed map assets and packs. Whole community of Kickstarter backers need a map maker for our genre. Pretty please. That's an amazing idea. And we have a wish list on DungeonFog, the Discord server, where you can add this to our wish list. People can vote on that, so they can say, yes, 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 I want that as well. We also have our annual community map pack, where you can submit those ideas as well. And we will collect all those ideas and make a community map pack out of those. So there's a good chance that if you submit that to our wish list and if you submit that to our community to our community prop pack, that we will make it. But there is another option for that, and that is our upcoming contest. Because this Thursday we will officially launch our Master of the Tools contest, and the idea behind that is that we are asking you to submit maps and show us what you can do with those tools, especially with the new tools that we've released in the last 6 months. It's going to be a little bit different than the last Discord contests that we have. It will be a public contest in terms of it will not only be held on Discord, we will have a dedicated webpage for that where you can submit your map. You have time until the end of March, which is March the 31st. And then we will take all your submissions, look at them. There is no theme around it. The goal is to see how great can you create a map based on the tools that we are currently providing. And it's called Master of the Tools. So we want to see how you are using our tools. Maybe you can impress us. Maybe you can do things that we didn't anticipate that could be done with our tools. And the cool part about that is that we are going to, so we as a board of a few jury members, we will pick a winner map, and that winner will then work with Tony, our asset artist, and me on a new asset pack. It's going to be, we haven't decided on the final number yet, but I would say something around 30 to 50 assets. We will create this asset pack for you, which still we will make it available for everyone, but you will be there and you will decide what assets would you like to see in there. The asset pack will be, if you like that, the asset pack will be branded as this is brought to you by whoever your name is. I think this is it's a great opportunity to teach us some tricks, what you can do with the tools, to show your map skills. And also, again, if you want your asset pack created by the artist that is doing the DungeonFog assets and kind of curated by me, so I can help and I can say, yes, okay, this could work this way, this could work that way, then just go and submit your maps. It's not going to be a community vote. So this is purely amongst our team of jury members who will look at the maps, and if you want to add a description to that, if you want to add a little backstory to that, you're more than welcome to do this. Again, the contest is going to launch on, I I've written it down, but I can't remember. I believe it's going to launch this Thursday. Let me just quickly look at my calendar. No, it's going to launch on Friday the 12th. So this Friday, the contest is going to launch. And it will go until the 31st of March. And within that time frame, you are free to commit maps. They don't have to be specifically themed. They don't have to be specifically around one topic or one setting. What the kind of criteria are that we're judging for, I will release that. It is the usage of the tools. So did you use shapes? Did you use brushes? Did you use the room tool? Did you use assets? Did you use lighting? How did you use that? How did you combine that? Did you add nodes? Did you label your rooms? Things like that. But it's, again, it's masters of the tools. So how are you using those tools? And yeah, and there you go. That is your... It's not going to be the last opportunity to win a personal asset pack that is created with you as our community. So if you like the idea, we will definitely going to repeat that. Servus. The info is going to be on the DGNFOG website. You will find it in the news section. So if you go to DGNFOG.com and you go to like news or just the landing page, you will see it there. It will also be promoted on the dashboard. And we will also tweet about it and put it on Facebook. Did I miss something? We might even send out a newsletter around that, because now that we're collecting all the stuff from the patch notes, it's time for another newsletter. So we're going to send a newsletter about that, and I will include the contest as well. All right. Any questions from your side? I've seen that Damien said, oh boy, I have some crazy thoughts with that room randomization and room template plan. Yes, man, we too. Like, this has sparked so many ideas when we said, okay. What can we do with the room template randomization? Which also kind of goes into the direction of what could we do with asset randomization inside rooms? We will see. I'm not convinced that this is going to be very helpful. But we already, like, Bodhi is our master of concepts and master of collecting ideas and grouping them into, like, all the crazy stuff that is exploding out of my head. Bodhi is kind of catching that and putting that into a structure. So he has already a list for that, and we will look at that as well. But as you know, you have voted on the next features that will be coming. And we know that we need a little bit more concept time and experimentation behind the template stuff. So this is going to happen alongside with all the other stuff. In terms of what have you voted on, if you remember, I'm not sure if you remember, not even I remember. No, I know it. The next tool that is coming will be the walls and paths tool. That is going to be, well, within the second quarter. So right now, from our roadmap list, we want to finish the rope templates. Then, because I have fixated this task, we will address the gem nodes for a rework, and then we will go to the walls and paths tool, and after that it will be the room rework, because we have, generally speaking, not only about room templates, but about rooms as well. We have some really cool ideas what we can do with that. And somewhere between those things, we will constantly work on improving the randomization. So I hope, this is just me hoping for it as a user more than as a company head. I hope that by the end of the year, we have the randomization out. Yeah. Apart from that, also coming up is probably late March, early April is our marketplace. Marketplace internal testing is going great. Now we just need to fill our marketplace a little bit with assets or with prop packs that external artists are capable of selling on our platform. And once we have that, we will make it as a beta. So we will open the marketplace, make it available to all of you. And after, I don't know, a couple of weeks, we will probably then close the marketplace just for internal review. Not sure if we're really closing it or if we're just doing a running review while the marketplace is going on. But there might be a point where we have to readjust and think, okay, some things worked great, some things did not work that good. And then there will be the marketplace available to you. And with the marketplace, there are also a lot of cool new things coming, especially to those of you who are free users and who are hoping to get more out of Dungeon Fog without having to buy a subscription. Yeah, I feel like that was an amazing stream. I rambled through a lot of stuff. So if you don't have any questions, then I would like to do a few other announcements from our Circle of World Builders space. For those of you who don't know what that is, the Circle of World Builders is our little collective group from How to Be a Great GM, World Anvil, Chaora, and Dungeon Fog. Last year we did a masterclass, a weekend of adventure building and planning and how you could use all those tools to create those things. This year there is going to be another one. I know that it's going to be somewhere in June, but we're working on the details, so stay tuned. There's going to be an announcement for a new masterclass this year. In terms of COW, that's how we're calling it because it's Circle of World Builders and we're always saying COW. COW Masterclass, is there anything new? Well, Chaora still has the announcement up that the goblins are now available on his Patreon. And World Anvil has, I'm not sure if that is still up to date. But they had a flash challenge on the World Anvil where you could win some stuff. Apart from that, there are no news from my side, and I saw a question in there. Question, I remember you had mentioned, Frankie asks that, you had mentioned that Dungeon Fog features will be in Project Deus. Are all of the updates going to be included at the Project Deus launch? So, first of all, yes, Dungeon Fog, the battle map tool, will be in Project Deus as well. So for those of you who don't know what Project Deus is the desktop application that brings world building, city building, solar systems and galaxy maps, as well as battle maps into one desktop application. And as I just said, the battle map tools will be in there. Now, the big problem that we have is that while we are developing the Dungeon Fog online battle map editor, we're always constantly pushing new features and new updates, which means that our development will, for some time, run behind those things. So I can't promise you that all of those features will be in there at launch, but we will make sure that all the core features are in there. And then we will internally find a point where we say, okay, we have to slow down a little bit on new features in the online editor so that the desktop application can catch up. There will be definitely all the core elements will be in there, and then there will be just an update phase where we push updates to kind of catch up with everything that the online editor did. Because at some point we would like to be at a point where the online editor is still available for those of you who would like to use things online, but they are kind of synchronized to what you're doing on the desktop application. thank you very much for your feedback. Frankie said the masterclass was very interesting. That is much appreciated because we've already started internally the how would you call them? The flock of cows has already started to plan the new masterclass, and we were trying to do reviews and learn and understand what was valuable for you, what did work, what did not work, so that we can adjust for the new masterclass this year. And I'm happy to hear that you liked it, because that means that we did not completely blow it. Well, your cows, Austrian cows fly in flocks. That's because we're so high in the Alps. Yeah, I feel like it's getting late and I'm getting ridiculous here. So I say thank you all. Thank you for being here. Have a great evening or a great day or a great morning. um, Blow a kiss to Bodhi, who has never been so confused, which is amazing because he's been working for us now over 1.5 years, I believe. And I feel like Thomas and I are great at confusing Bodhi. Um, uh, as always, have a good time, stay safe, and happy map making. Thank you and good night. Bye.